The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the Sparta Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be advertised by having the date, time, and place thereof posted at the Sparta Board of Education office, 18 Mohawk Ave, as designated by the Board of Education for posting of such notice in a public place. Written notice was emailed on January 11th, 2022 to the New Jersey Herald, the Star Ledger, tapintosparta.net, and to the Township Clerk specifying the date, time, and place of this meeting.
Thank you. Could you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Roll call, please.
Ms. Collier,
Here.
Ms. Grano,
Here.
Mr. McKernan,
Here.
Ms. Miller,
Here.
Mr. Morris, Ms. Sealander,
Here.
Dr. Serrano,
Here.
Mr. Paleshi.
All right, we'll be moving into closed session. Do I read this first and then ask for a motion? Or I say
Yeah, that is the
motion
motion.
first?
You can ask
Okay.
for a second. Yep.
Whereas Section 8 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975, provides for the exclusion of the public from a meeting in a certain circumstances, and whereas the Sparta Township Board of Education is of the opinion that such circumstances exist to discuss personnel, student matters, and attorney-client privilege, which is exempt from public participation pursuant to New Jersey Public Law 1975, Chapter 231, Open Public Meetings Act. Now therefore be it resolved that the Sparta Township Board of Education shall enter executive session on November 15th at 6:33 p.m. The board will reconvene in public session at the conclusion of the executive session. The information discussed during the executive session will be disclosed to the public as soon as it is determined by the board that the information is no longer confidential. Could I have a second motion, please, to go into closed session? Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. We'll probably be about 45 minutes. So we'll see you when we get back. Mark, okay. Do I need to wait for Vanessa to come back, I guess? Huh? Okay. Oh, my microphone's on. Oops.
They typically go under, we typically approve them as, under curriculum.
Do I have to gavel again?
Yeah.
Is Vanessa back?
Yes.
Oh. Roll call?
Ms. Collier,
Here.
Ms. Grano,
Here.
Mr. McKernan,
Here.
Ms. Miller,
Here.
Mr. Morris, Ms. Sealander,
Here.
Dr. Serrano,
Here.
Okay, resolved that the Board of Education closes executive session and enters back into public portion of the meeting at 7:30 PM. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Wow. Any opposed?
No.
Okay, thank you. Oh, yes. We interviewed a candidate today for filling the position Ms. Bragg left vacant. And we would like to make a nomination for tonight. I nominate Ms. Lee McMichael.
Need a second?
Need a second? Second, we got a second, okay. Any other nominations? Can I make a motion to close nominations? Second?
Second.
Any opposed? Oh, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Great.
Here's the resolution we're going to vote on after I break the microphone here. Resolved that the Board of Education appoints Lee McMichael to fill the vacant seat on the Board of Education, and be it further resolved that Ms. McMichael shall serve until the board's organization meeting in January of 2023. So this is a very short term, and Ms. McMichael, as I understand it, won for the election, so she'll be sworn in again in January for the 3-year seat. Okay, so that's the motion. Somebody needs to move it and second it and so forth.
Second?
I second to move the motion.
Discussion?
Should do a roll call on this.
Ms. Collier,
Yes.
Ms. Grano,
Yes.
Mr. McKernan,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Morris, Ms. Sealander,
Yes.
Dr. Serrano.
Yes.
Oh, we're doing it now? Okay, we are going to swear you in now. If you can come up.
Okay. Good evening. Can you raise your right hand and repeat after me? Do you want to maybe just speak into the mic there? I state your name.
I, Lee McMichael,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
so help me God.
So help me God.
I state your name.
I, Lee McMichael,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I possess the qualifications
that I possess the qualifications
prescribed by law
prescribed by law
for office of member of a Board of Education,
for office of a member of a Board of Education,
and that I'm not disqualified as a voter
and that I'm not disqualified as a voter
pursuant to
pursuant to
RS
RS
19-4-1,
19-4-1,
nor disqualified due to conviction
nor disqualified due to conviction
of a crime or an offense
of a crime or an offense
listed in
listed in
NJSA
NJSA
18A
18A
12-1,
12-1,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform all the duties
and justly perform all the duties
of that office
of that office
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
There you go. You just have to sign that at the bottom, and I'll notarize it there. Do we have a chair for Ms. McMichael?
Okay, student representatives report. Come on up. Is that on?
Hello?
Oh, there you
There
go.
we go. All right, good evening. I'm Jack Hill. I'm the executive treasurer. So our homecoming pep rally during the homecoming weekend was a success with the sophomores actually coming on top of the seniors, surprisingly. During homecoming weekend, we had a food can donation, and all of that food has been given to the Sussex County Food Pantry. And last but not least, next Wednesday, before Thanksgiving, we're going to have a turkey bowl at Castles Field, so everyone make sure to show up. We have concessions available, and there will be a great football game as well. So hope to see you guys there.
That sounds
Thank
great.
you. Have a
Who's
good
playing in the game?
night. Girls.
Oh.
Yeah.
So is that after the half day? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think it's at like 3 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
Oh, fun.
That
That's
sounds
a great
fun.
idea.
Yeah.
Is this the first year we're doing it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, thank you.
I love that.
And can I play?
No.
Okay, can I get approval of minutes, right? Yes. Can I get a motion for the approval of the minutes?
Motion.
A second? Roll call?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Mr. McKernan?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Morris? Ms. Seelander?
Yes.
Dr. Serrano?
Yes.
Ms. McMichael?
Yes.
Great. Dr. Beck, do you have an update for us?
I do.
Great.
Good evening. I would like to start by congratulating the winners of the Board of Ed election. So I'd like to congratulate the 6 winners of the Board of Ed election that took place last week. To Mr. Morris and Ms. Collier, I look forward to continuing to work with you. And to Ms. McMichael, Ms. Pitzer, Mr. Knapp, and Ms. Keeling-Longo, congratulations. And I look forward to getting to know you and working with you as we move our district forward. An update on the Student Board Advisory Group, as I've been providing the past couple of meetings. On November 3rd, Mrs. Rossi and I met with the high school and middle school students. We met in the high school, and the middle school students came in remotely, who are part of this group, and we met with their advisors as well. The purpose of the kickoff meeting was to provide the students with information on the function of the Board of Education, the function of administrators, and how policies are formed, as well as how policies establish governance of a school district. We then took some questions from the students and made sure they had all the information they needed to keep the group moving forward. We viewed that as an essential first step in the group's progress, as the students now know whether an issue is a board issue or an administrative issue, and how to best go about resolving that issue with the appropriate party. The group's leaders felt that there was still limited time between the board meetings, and they planned to begin their work with the ad hoc board committee for our December committee meetings. Strategic plan update First, the communication survey. The community should have received the communication survey today, survey this afternoon. Once we receive all of the results from the survey, we'll use that information as well as the focus groups and the audit information to create a communications plan that will be shared with the community in the coming months. That's all part of the strategic plan. And just a reminder, the building-based strategic plan groups, we talked about it last meeting during our presentation, that the building-based groups are establishing monthly schedule for their meetings, and they'll continue to update their Gantt charts. And those Gantt charts are available on the district website. We put those up, I believe, the day after the last board meeting, after we discussed them. Moving on to recognition for our students. First, the Marching Spartans. With a score of 92.62, the Marching Spartans are the Region 10 champions for the second year in a row. The Marching Spartans won all captions awards, and once again were the highest scoring band out of all competitive divisions. Additionally, they placed second at the Tournament of Bands Group 2A Atlantic Coast Championships. They scored 94.94, which is the second highest score ever in the competition by the Sparta band. So congratulations on a successful season. And now a longer part is fall sports wrap-up. The fall sports seasons have wrapped up, so the team and individual awards, most of them are out now, so I'd like to go through those. We'll start with the team awards, the team honors. Our unified soccer team was Division III champions. Our girls soccer was NJAC American Division champions. Football was SFC American White Division champions. Boys cross country won third place at the HWS tournament. Volleyball had a very successful season. NJAC Division champions, volleyball sectional champions, and volleyball Group 2 state champions. And gymnastics was earned a sixth place finish in the North 1 League A championships. I have individual accomplishments for all of those sports except gymnastics. That meeting didn't take place yet, so I'll get to the individual gymnastics next meeting. But I'm going to go through the individual honors, and there's a lot of them for all the sports I just mentioned. So Clara Murphy and Alexis Villapando, NJAC tennis second team all conference, first doubles. Scarlett Madison, NJAC tennis, honorable mention, first singles. Anthony Lane, NJAC cross country, first team. Remsen Jarrell, NJAC cross country, first team. Dean Stoss, NJAC cross country, honorable mention. Ashley Crane, NJAC cross country, second team. Aaron Takich, NJAC cross country, honorable mention. NJAC first team volleyball, Bryn McCurry and Haley Maher. NJAC second team volleyball, Arilyn Savlis and Ariana Paleo. NJAC volleyball honorable mention, Peyton Simpson. NJAC first team girls soccer, Ella Collins, Juliana Dolinsky, and Grace McDonald. NJAC second team girls soccer, Uma Kowalski and Abigail Pearson. NJAC honorable mention girls soccer, Riley Mulberry. NJAC boys soccer first team, Dylan Barry. NJAC boys soccer second team, Patrick Connors and John Burns. NJAC boys soccer honorable mention, Quint Flannery. One more sport. Football. They just had their meeting, I believe, last evening, actually, to name their individual honors. SFC first team offense, Austin Fratura, Nick Ryan, Hunter Peterson, and Logan Arienta. SFC first team defense, Finn Mell, Matt Schweizer, and Josh Brancy. SFC second team offense, Brandon Cabrera, Bradley Maines, and Anthony Ferrone. SFC second team defense, Alex Yerofeev, the Beast, and Hunter Klodnicki. And SFC honorable mention, Braden Canceljack. So congratulations once again, another very successful athletic season for our fall sports, both on the team level and on the individual level. And like I said, gymnastics, there's definitely some individual accomplishments, but they didn't get to their meeting yet this week. So I'll be sure to honor those athletes as well. And that concludes my report. I'll turn it over to Mrs. Rossi for a report as well.
I just have two updates that I want to share. On November 30th, we will be having our District Culture and Climate Committee reorganization meeting. That will be a virtual meeting. It will begin at 5 p.m., so it will be an hour from 5 to 6. And you can find that link on our website right now. So if you go to departments, That can be found under Student Support Services. Again, that's the District Culture and Climate Reorg meeting. We are also hosting a Parent Academy, which can be found on our website as well, under Departments, and this would be found under Curriculum. So the Parent Academy will be held on December 15th. It will also be a virtual meeting from 5 to 6 p.m. The link is currently online, and this session will be on unpacking district data. So for those of you who are interested to learn a little bit more about what it looks like and how the district uses student performance data to inform decision-making within the school district, that session will focus on that information. And that's all I have tonight.
Thank you. HIB report, right?
It's just
Motion.
approved, yes.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the HIB report?
Motion.
Second,
Second.
discussion. All in favor? Can I do all in favor for that? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great, okay. Delegate liaison reports, anybody have anything they'd like to
Just one
share?
quick question.
What?
We're not including Lee on that HIB report, right? Because she hasn't seen it?
Did she abstain?
No, did she say anything?
I just want to make sure. No, she didn't say
Just
anything.
let the record reflect, Ms. Black, that there's an abstention for Ms. McMichael on that, please.
Okay, anybody have any updates they'd like to share? No? Quiet bunch, okay. Public comments, number 1. Public comments are invited on matters pertaining only to action items at this time. Please state the action item number as well as your name, municipality, and group affiliation if appropriate for the record. Each participant will receive 3 minutes to speak. There will be a countdown timer. You will be notified when there is 1 minute remaining, and then again when the time is up at the end of the 3 minutes. Speakers may not cede their time to others. This portion of the meeting is meant to hear public comment, not to have a dialogue between the board and the person speaking. The board asks that members of the public be courteous and mindful of the rights of other individuals when speaking and not disrupt the meeting, or you may be asked to leave. All statements should be directed to me as the presiding officer. The board or administration may respond to any questions or comments after the conclusion of the public participation. Need the font smaller on that, okay. Can I, motion for this?
No.
Okay. Is there anybody for public comment number 1? You would think I was never at a board meeting before, okay.
I just have a quick question, because it may not be this. It's based on his report, so is that in the second, or is that now?
I think it's fine if it was part of the superintendent's report,
Okay.
which is on the agenda.
I'll fill this out right after. So I just had a quick question on the student advisory board for the middle school, because no parents were notified of that, and I'm texting people now, and no students were notified of that, because I know several students who are very active in peer groups and things of that nature who would have been interested in that, and I was just wondering how that, I know last meeting they mentioned it, so I was waiting to hear about it. So now to hear that there was an advisory board, and then to find out middle school was involved, and I have several middle schoolers who would have been interested and did not. I'm just curious to know how those students were chosen. Thank you.
No, she didn't. Dr. Lewis, do you mind just stating your name for the record, please?
Dr. Frida Lewis, Sparta, New Jersey.
Thank you. Any others? Okay, motion to close public comment number 1. Second? Discussion? All in favor again? All in favor? Any opposed? Great.
If I could just respond.
Oh, yes, go ahead.
I'll just respond to Dr. Lewis. What took place was the students took it upon themselves to advertise the club, like a lot of clubs. They would hang signs up and things like that. I'm not sure how, there were 4 students that showed up from the middle school. I'm not sure how they learned. All they missed in that first meeting is what I just said. I'll make sure it gets promoted a little better over in the middle school.
So for these meetings, Dr. Beck, is it anyone who wants to attend them can
100%,
attend them?
yeah,
Okay.
yep, student-driven.
Okay.
And Dr. Beck, would you be willing to share that? You made a nice PowerPoint presentation with Mrs. Rossi, so would that be able to be something that would be shared to the advisor to go out to those students that missed it?
Yeah, what they did, yes, we can do that. The students, the high school students created a Google Classroom, actually, and they shared it. And as soon as I created that, as soon as I presented that presentation, they uploaded it to their Google Classroom. So I think the students that are interested, as more students become interested, and then they would learn about the Google Classroom, all the materials will be there.
Great,
Is it
thank
something
you.
that would be worthwhile, just like send, I know we get a lot of email blasts, like sending something out, like share this with your student if you think they're interested, here's the date, show up.
We could. I'm not sure they do that with all clubs, but.
I don't know, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just asking, I know some
I'll
kids
talk to
need-
the high school and middle school principals and see what they think about that.
Good to move on?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Okay, moving on to the rest of the agenda. Could I get a motion to move in personnel and policy 15.1 to 15.34? Thank you, Kurt. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Lauren. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Collier,
Yes.
Ms. Grano,
Yes.
Mr. McKernan,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Morris, Ms. Sealander,
Yes.
Dr. Serrano,
Yes.
Ms. McMichael,
Thank you. Okay, curriculum and instruction and special services, looking to move 16.1 to 16.11. Can I get a motion, please?
Motion.
Thank you, Vanessa. Second?
Second.
Well, that was a tie. I'm going to go with Patrick.
Yes.
Okay. Discussion. Okay. Roll call, please.
Ms. Collier,
Yes.
Ms. Grano,
Yes.
Mr. McKernan,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Morris, Ms. Sealander,
Yes.
Dr. Serrano,
Yes.
Ms. McMichael,
Okay, finance, looking to move 17.1 to 17.8. Could I get a motion?
Motion.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Ms. Collier,
Yes.
Ms. Grano,
Yes.
Mr. McKernan,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Morris, Ms. Sealander,
Yes.
Dr. Serrano,
Yes.
Ms. McMichael,
Great, okay. Operations, looking to move 18.1 to 18.2. Can I have a motion, please? Thank you, Kurt. A second?
Second.
Thank you, Lauren. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Collier,
Yes.
Ms. Grano,
Yes.
Mr. McKernan,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Morris, Ms. Sealander,
Yes.
Dr. Serrano,
Yes.
Ms. McMichael,
Okay, moving on to old business. Does anybody have anything they would like to share? Old business, anyone? Do I need to do a motion to close that or anything? No. Okay. New business. Anything anybody would like to discuss? But yes. What do I read?
No, I'll read it. So this is the resolution for the HIB case that we heard this evening, that somebody's going to have to move. Resolved that the Board of Education affirms the finding of HIB in case number 919-20221, heard during this evening's executive session, and be it further resolved that the parents shall be provided with a written decision and information on their right of appeal.
All right, can I have a motion to move that, please?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Do we do discussion? Discussion? Roll call?
Ms. Collier,
Yes.
Ms. Grano,
Yes.
Mr. McKernan,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Morris, Ms. Sealander,
No.
Dr. Serrano,
Yes.
Ms. McMichael,
Abstain.
Motion carried.
Okay, public comment number 2. Can I get a motion? Second?
Second.
Discussion? Okay. Not going to read the whole thing again, the font's too small for my eyes, but state your name, you get 3 minutes. We'll let you know when you're coming up on your 3 minutes. Be kind, and that's about it. So, come forward if you would like. Just make sure to state your name. Thank you.
Elizabeth Sanchez, Sparta, New Jersey. So I wanted to ask about the class ranks. I was looking through the results of an Oprah request, and from what I found, it seemed like the administration, particularly Dr. Bradley and Ms. Rossi, did a lot of research, and the research really supports dropping class ranks for the students' well-being as well as college admissions process. Pretty much all the high-performing schools in the area have dropped class rank. And it seemed like all of the administration was in agreement that this is what is in the students' best interest. And it was brought to the curriculum committee and approved, and then brought to the policy committee and rejected. And according to the policy committee meeting minutes, they said that that hard work should be recognized, and that was also brought up by the administration. They met with 20 or so students, and the students wanted their hard work recognized. I think everybody wants their hard work recognized. So they were exploring options to still recognize all of the academic achievements. They said there wasn't ample time to review the presentation, but I feel like, I suppose you could go back and review it. And they said they don't support the removal of the GPA, which didn't seem to be something that was being suggested. So I don't really understand that part. So my question is, when you have the administration all in agreement and the research supports that something is in the best interest of the vast majority of students, and it is the trend for all of the top performing schools in New Jersey, and the curriculum committee approved it, I'm wondering if anyone from the policy committee who rejected it, and I realize the board sets policy and it's absolutely within their right to reject a policy that is brought to them, but as someone who has children in high school who are going to very soon be applying to colleges, this will absolutely directly affect them. I would really love an explanation as to why you took such a step and the rationale behind it so that we can understand where we are going with the class ranks, and if that is something that is still up for discussion, if it is still being pursued, I would love to see some progress on that. Thank you.
Hello, Caitlin Gagnon, Summit Road. So I'd like to start by thanking everyone that showed support over the last few months. Students, board members, administrators, teachers. I'd also like to say thank you to the members of the board that collaborated with us throughout the election season, and for your commitment to our district's Board of Education thus far. So, excuse me. I apologize to Dr. Beck already because I do know I sound like a broken record, but I was wondering if there's been an update on a publication of the feasibility study. I haven't seen one online since the last meeting. I mentioned it at the last meeting. Especially now that newly elected board members are entertaining redistricting or reverting back to former building allocations. I do think the feasibility study would be really helpful for the community to be able to gauge our district's current status and of course future projections. Also for the sake of transparency. In the spirit of curriculum transparency, and this kind of goes along with some of what Liz was saying, I'd actually like to make a proposition to our current board tonight. Over a year ago, long before ever considering a campaign, my friend Dana Galino asked the then board president if the public was allowed to attend committee meetings. Committees obviously consisting of curriculum, finance, and personnel. There were, and frankly still are, concerns over the lack of oversight, items seemingly being lost in the committee sessions, and just the fact that committee meetings are very poorly conveyed, if at all. Dana was advised at the time that, quote, the conduct of board meeting and public participation at our meetings is governed by board policy, end quote. So since you are the board that governs those policies, I'd like to ask that you consider revisiting the policy or policies that dictate public participation or even mere attendance at committee meetings. I also ask that regardless of the outcome of that, you can at least fortify maybe the minute-taking process so the public can be as informed and engaged as possible. And have faith in the fact that these committees are being run with integrity and being run properly and not being maybe utilized in ways that they shouldn't be. I obviously understand that personnel matters can occasionally pose confidentiality issues, but I do think there are definitely ways to involve the public without compromising the actual processes. or processes, I should say. Allowing members of the public to at least attend the meetings, which many other New Jersey districts do all allow, or I shouldn't say all allow, but do already allow, by the way. It just seems like a great way to foster transparency. I know so many members of the public are kindly asking for that transparency, especially when it comes to curriculum, myself included. So I think it would be a really great way to make sure that everyone is involved in the process so they can have faith in the process. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Dana Galino, Valley View Trail, Sparta. I have two short questions. Number one, is the district fully funding the capital reserve fund each year as per the capital reserve study? And how much is the annual amount that we are putting into the fund each year? Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you, Dr. Beck, for the congratulatory message. Appreciate the support that we also
Can you say
received.
your name? Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Leanne Pitzer, Sparta. I wanted to bring up CPAG. I have not received any emails, notifications about meetings, parent support groups, anything like that. I don't know if there's been not any going on or what this current situation is. But I did message with the current chairperson of CPAG. She told me that they were having some funding issues. I'm not sure where that stands, something about requesting money from different schools, PTOs, to hold functions. Also wanted to bring up celebrating, maybe making Autism Awareness Month a little bit more of a district-wide celebration. I know Alpine does the walkathon, but I would like to see it celebrated a little bit greater. And just any information that anyone might have on CPAG and where we stand with that would be appreciated. Thank you.
Great. Anybody else like to come up? No? Okay. Can I get a motion to close public comment number 2? Motion? Thank you, Kurt. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Vanessa. Discussion? No discussion. Discussion? You're not very talkative tonight. Okay. Do you want to?
Yeah, I have a couple responses. Moving to, because I believe Ms. Sanchez's question was for anybody from the policy committee, so I will go down to Ms. Gagnon. Her comment, the publication of the feasibility study, absolutely. Mr. Zittermer and I discussed it. We cannot release the full feasibility study, so now what we have to, because there's ins and outs of our buildings, and it's a security thing. But what we need to do is we need to synthesize it down into what can be shared, kind of like an executive summary, so that we can and will do. It's just gonna take a minute, because it's a lot of pages. And then regarding the change in policy, when it comes to the meetings, when it comes to committee meetings, I'll just speak to the fact, usually when such suggestions are brought up, they are then discussed in policy committee. So I'll make sure it makes it on the discussion items for the personnel and policy agenda. And then Ms. Pitzer, CPAG, I'm gonna put you in touch with, they don't meet like every month, I know that. I'll put you in touch with the 2 special ed directors that run CPAG, and if you had, and they can explain when the meetings are and exactly what's going on there. Catch you up is what they'll do. I'll email them, I'll copy you and put you in touch. And the Autism Awareness Month, absolutely, I'll bring that up at the next admin meeting. In fact, at today's admin meeting, we discussed increasing monthly celebrations overall for months where they take place. So that will make it onto the admin agenda for Tuesday.
So the Capital Reserve Fund, what happens with that fund is at the end of the year, after the audit is done, different amounts are put into a district's capital reserve. This is based on a motion that the board makes at their June meeting. It's an up to amount and not exceeding. And at the time, if there is available surplus at the end of a school year, the board determines, if money will be put into capital reserve or maintenance reserve or into a surplus account. So that being said, it does vary from year to year. It's available balance. It rolls into, what?
Just have it reach out to you.
Yeah, you could reach out to me too. I'll get some more information your way, but.
Great, okay. For good of the order, does anybody have anything they would like to share? Yes, Jen.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to welcome Ms. McMichael to the table. I was sitting in your seat only a few short months ago, and it felt weird to be part of the meeting so quickly, and but you seem to be a natural, and so congratulations. I just, on behalf of Patrick, Neve, and I think I've done a little bit of speaking for us over the last couple of months, so we're not saying goodbye quite yet, but we want to just say congratulations to our new board trustees who will be taking over in January, and I'll say goodbye next meeting.
Anybody else?
I just had two quick things. I'm not the official spokesperson for SEF, but the turkey trot is next week. It is, I believe, online registration is still open. So sign up, walk, run, hop, skip, whatever it is to get you down that race course and back before the turkey. Make sure you sign up for that. And then just to piggyback on what Dr. Beck said about the girls' volleyball title, I do believe it was the first state title in the program history, so a little extra sweet for that team. So I just wanted to make mention of that and congratulate them. That's all I got.
Great. Anybody else?
Yeah, just to recognize, the amount of accomplishments in the sports program. That's probably most we've had years throughout fall season. That's almost like a year's worth in the past. And to touch on the student representatives homecoming, congratulations, King and Queen. So,
Okay. Anybody else? Meeting adjourned.
no, your motion.
Oh, I need a motion?
Motion.
Second.
I already closed that section,
We'll put her in touch.
but we'll get you in touch with Kurt.
So you need a motion? We're in the middle of a roll call. Hang on.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I messed up.
Yeah.
Yes, he confirms. Can I get a motion to close the meeting? Motion to close the meeting.
Motion.
Second? Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Now can I do it?
Yes.
Adjourned.
Good job.
Make sure you turn your mic off, guys.
I don't know about the turkey trot by now. Are you ever gonna know?
I don't know. Come on, 5K isn't my thing.